Welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast. My name is Madi and I'm joined by my co-host Ben. It is great to have you join us for this episode.
Yes, hello listeners. Hello Maddie. Welcome to episode 182. It has been a while as we navigate school holidays in Queensland, Australia, and gee whiz, what a bit of time, a week or so it has been for the Arsenal.
With an absolutely cracking game for the men's team against Real Madrid in the Champions League Quarter-finals.
As they won at home at the Emirates 3-0, a great result in the first leg of that two-legged tie, and we're going to focus that on that in part two, but in part number one,
we will look at our winning and our draw in the Premier League.
Yes, the win against Fulham and the draw against Everton as we make the tiniest of inroads in what is a mathematically possible but very unlikely charge at the Premier League title against what has been a good Liverpool team.
Sounds like a lot to cover in this episode.
It sure is, Maddie. But before we get to all of our content, a quick reminder to follow, like and subscribe so that we can keep growing our Arsenal Kids community.
Because we would love for you to join us in this adventure together.
We would indeed. And Maddie, let's cover off the first game back for the men since the international break, which was against Fulham at the Emirates.
And Ben, we had never lost them at home in the past 32 games.
And that record never looked to be in danger as we dominated the possession and territory stats. But after just 15 minutes, there was a reshuffling of the backline as big Gabriel Magalhaes pulled up with a hamstring injury and had to be replaced by Jakub Kiwior. And despite a fragmented first half of football, our patience paid off on 37 minutes when we grabbed a lead to take with us into the break. Ethan Nwaneri then escaped past his defender on the left flank and cut the ball back to Merino inside the box. After taking a couple of touches to get it under control, the Spaniard saw his shot deflected off the defender and creep into the bottom corner of the goal to make the scoreline
1-0 to Arsenal.
And then after a frantic start to the first half with David Raya to thank for keeping the scores level, on 66 minutes the Emirates Stadium crowd were on their feet again as Saka made his return after spending the past 101 days out injured, and he received a loud roar as loud as the one when Merino scored. But the Emirates crowd kicked it up another level when
Saka scored a goal to mark the fairy tale return.
Yes, Martinelli initiated an attack after speeding down the left side and found Merino. His cross was then flicked on acrobatically by the Brazilian towards the back post, where Saka simply had to stoop to nod the ball past Leno and write his fairy tale return to an absolutely ecstatic crowd response. And despite Fulham getting a goal back in injury time and a few nervy moments towards the end, the Gunners got the win and the 3 points in what was a special night for Saka.
And then into the next game, Ben, where we faced Everton away from home.
Again, it was in the Premier League, and Mikel Arteta, he named a much rotated side for this game with an eye on that midweek tie against Real Madrid. And so with 5 changes, it was unsurprising that the team took a while to build up head of steam as the game was constantly disrupted due to a raft of stoppages. And despite not really getting a serious sight of goal in the opening 30 minutes, we pounced not long later when we were provided with one. A loose header from a defender allowed Sterling to pick up possession in our half, and he drove forward, finding Trossard, who had enough time to steady himself in the box before drilling a low effort on his left foot past the keeper to net the goal.
But less than a minute into the second half, and Everton got a goal back.
They did. We brought on Saka and Martinelli at the break to give them some more minutes in their legs as they returned fitness. But Miles Lewis-Skelly was adjudged to have fouled Jack Harrison in the Everton box, and the referee pointed to the spot. And despite replays showing that the Everton player had dived, VAR, for whatever reason, upheld their decision and the penalty was converted, bringing the scorelines back to level at 1 apiece. Despite the Gunners having then the better chances from then until the end of the game, we were unable to score again, meaning that our 113th and final trip to Goodison Park ended with the spoils shared, as Everton are going to move into their new stadium prior to next season.
And what does this mean for us in the league, Ben?
Well, Maddie, with the other results in the league, we are 11 points still adrift of Liverpool with 7 games left in the league and 5 points ahead of Nottingham Forest, leaving us safely in second place at the moment with our next league game against Brentford at the weekend.
Okay, well, let's leave that for part 1. We'll be right back after this with part number 2. Welcome back, and Ben, the men's team had a ripper of a game against Real Madrid in the Champions League Quarter-finals.
They did, Maddie, and the first leg of this 2-legged quarter-final was played at home at the Emirates, and the expectations pre-match reached new heights as the stadium were in full voice in a rendition of North London Forever prior to kickoff. And despite our bright start, the Madrid forwards made their presence known with a number of opportunities for themselves that we were fortunately able to snuff out.
And Saka, back in starting lineup, was causing havoc down the right-hand side.
Yes, he put in 2 crosses that went completely through that corridor between the defence and the keeper, but no Arsenal player was on hand to put them into the net.
But the teams went into the half-time break level at 0-0.
And at the start of the second half, chances continued for both teams. Mbappe fired a shot into the side netting for Real Madrid, while Rice was denied by a sliding block at the other, and then Saka was brought down about 10 yards outside the area after he went on one of his customary mazy runs through to the centre of the pitch.
And then Declan Rice, baby, stepped up and scored an absolutely cracking free kick goal.
It was. He curled an absolute incredible strike around the wall and just inside the post. The shot was a good yard outside of the left-hand post, but the amazing whip and power he was able to put on his shot brought it back on target, giving the keeper no chance at all. And Emirates Stadium erupted as the scoreline read
1-0 to Arsenal.
And it was great to see the Gunners completely back on top now and hunting a second goal. And incredibly, we had 3 great chances in the space of about 10 seconds as we were kept out by some desperate Real Madrid defending. But it was all one-way traffic before Saka again was brought down outside of the area and the referee gave another free kick to the Gunners.
And Declan Rice stepped up one again.
And this free kick was arguably even better than the last. It was on the other side of the D from the last one, about 5 or 6 yards outside of the box. And this time Rice rattled his right-footed shot straight into the top corner, like the literal top corner. Like, I don't think it could get any more top corner than the top corner that it went in. It was simply unstoppable.
Okay, Ben, we get it. It was in the top corner.
It was, and if that was good being 2-0 up against Real Madrid, it got better as Luis Skelly ran at the now shell-shocked Real Madrid defence, squared the ball for Mikel Merino, who tucked home a first-time left-footed shot, almost nonchalantly but powerfully into the bottom corner. And the atmosphere inside the stadium reached new levels, like levels not before seen at the Emirates previously, as the 15-time and reigning European champions Real Madrid were on the ropes.
And from there on, we held them off to win game 3-0.
Yes, we did, giving us a healthy advantage heading into the second leg of the tie, which will be at the Bernabeu in Madrid. But it will be minus Camavinga, who was sent off late on for a second yellow card. It's not all done and dusted quite yet, but we have done ourselves a lot of favours by winning that first leg convincingly. Great work by the team.
And when it when is the second leg then?
Well, Maddie, the second leg is in the middle of this week, and the winner of that tie will then be facing either Bayern Munich or Inter Milan in the semi-final, with Inter taking the advantage into their second leg after they defeated Bayern 2-1 at home. But all in all, another amazing European night at the Emirates for the Arsenal, and Declan Rice, who was our player of the game, really showed why he cost as much as he did. £100 million cheap. But it's also games like these ones that make you understand why he wanted to join the club in the first place. Great work for the Gunners.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up for this episode. Thanks again for joining us at Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Before we sign off, we want to express our gratitude for your continued support. If you haven't already, please follow, like, and subscribe so you don't miss us in the future. Remember, your love for the beautiful game is what fuels our passion.
And we would love for you to spread the word about Arsenal Kids.
Yes,
Podcast.
please share our podcast with other Arsenal kids you know and help us to grow this amazing community together.
We hope to join you back on the pitch again soon.
Keep the spirit of the game alive, and until next time.
Goodbye.